Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're doing how to build on the brand new MC Shadow collaboration character Alpha. So Alpha she's decent. I would say she's probably the best character in this collaboration solely because she's got really good damage, her kit doesn't seem too bad, it's got a general mix of support as well as DPS in terms of her passive, and she's pretty good for the new demon, whatever you want to call it, the Endurer Chaos Demon, whatever you want to call it, the stupidly broken thing. And at this point of making this video, you actually need Alpha and Beta from the new MC Shadow collaboration to beat it on Chaos mode. If not, it is impossible, like actually impossible. And you still need to be a whale at that to be able to beat it. So first, we'll have a look at her stats. 118% pierce rate, pretty good. It's like, well, I'd say just above standard, which is about anything above 110 I would consider standard. So it's pretty good, 118. Resistance, it's standard, 80%, maybe a little bit on the lower side. Crit chance, once again, is a little bit lower with 105. Crit damage, it's standard, 232. It's not too high, but it's definitely not very low. 89% crit resistance, which it's not bad. Anything above 100 I consider good. Anything above 110 is very good. Crit defense is actually very good. I'd say anything above 125 is very good for crit defense. She's got 130, so what she does miss out on crit resistance, she does make up with crit defense. Lifesteal of 21%, which is actually very high. I've realized that a lot of these MC Shadow characters have quite good lifesteal, which is pretty good. On to skills, so she has a new effect called Flash Cut, which is 3 times pierce rate. That is the reason why she has quite a bit of pierce rate, and 70% increased attack for each sort of penetration effect applied to the hero. So the way she gets these buffs, which we'll go over in her passive in a second, is pretty funky in a way that she can't really earn them herself. She has to have an ally earn them for her, which is a little bit irritating. Okay, we've also then got her debuff skill. So her debuff skill is an attack skill, but at level 1, it's a single target, disables single target skills, which is pretty good. At level 2, it attack skills, and at level 3, it also attack skills as well. But I do like the fact that at level 1, it's not just a plain no damage, it's got like just no effect to it. The fact that it does disable single targets, and you've got characters like Millum, Lolly Merlin, Mayel, Melly Liz, even these new collaboration characters, they've all got a lot of single target skills, so having the ability to seal them turn 1 guaranteed is pretty decent. Of course, you may have to work around the fact that, you know, maybe they might have cleanse if they've got Margaret, or they've got, once again, the retrogression buff, whatever it's called, the buff with Hell's buff, when you take them too low and they heal. Well, not heal, but they get sort of full cleansed and get the immortality. And then you've got her ultimate, which is actually very broken. Increased hero's attack related stats by 50% for 2 turns, then inflicts Flash Cut, damage equal to 440% of attack on all enemies. Flash Cut is 3 times pierce rate, once again like we saw, and an attack increase by 70% for each buff that she has. So this ultimate, I have seen hit 9 million in geared PvP. Yeah, it hit 9 million, 2-6. That was with HP defense. It was with max stacks of a passive. So she had like 50% attack related stat boost plus the pierce rate boost we're going to see that she gets from the buff as well, from her passive. So we'll go through the passive now. Increased hero's basic stats by 8% for each applicable ally participating in battle. So that is either fairies or shadow. No humans, just fairies or shadow, because she is a fairy race. Applies Mist Form on applicable allies for 2 turns at the start of battle. What does Mist Form do? Well, it's pretty much like Goddessless Shield. Only takes damage from basic stats when attacked. The effect is removed after 2 attacks. When the effect is removed, the critical defense of the hero the crit defense of the hero removed from increases by 40% for 2 turns. Basically, she gives your allies a crit defense buff. That does scale with ult level, because of course everything in this collab heavily scales with ult level, unfortunately. I don't know why, but the rates are lower and everything significantly scales with ult level. Kind of stupid. But all I know is that at 6.6 it is 70% crit defense, which is quite a big difference between 40 and 70. But once again, it's decent. 40% is still pretty decent. But yeah, this only takes damage from basic stats, only takes damage when you attack twice. So anything, if let's say they're using a debuff skill, let's just say Barnes' Extort skill, LR Barn, not only will it not remove a stack, the debuff won't apply, because it counts as the skill missing. So on certain pieces of content, it's pretty broken, because you just can't be affected by debuffs. So infect doesn't work turn 1 if they want to infect immediately, which is really, really, really nice, and it's actually really cool to have. When applicable allies, use 3 or more skills during the ally's turn. The suppression damage taken effect is applied to applicable heroes for 1 turn limit once. So whenever, just say you're running a full fairy team, or 2 fairies and shadow or whatever, and you play 3 skills, you get a 40% damage reduction turn 1. So once again, this is also linked to ultimate. If you are 1/6, you only get a 50% damage cap, and if you are 2/6 or higher, you get the 40% damage cap. So problem with that is 50%. Let's say you've got retirement on someone, they can die in 2 skills. If you've got the 40% damage cap, it will take 3 skills to kill them, and I feel like that is the reason why it's kind of irritating. They should have just left it at 40% immediately for everyone. When an applicable ally other than the hero uses a single target effect, single target skill attack, Sword of Penetration is applied to the hero for 3 turns. This can stack up to 3 times, and it is 60% pierce rate. So she already has, was it 118%, plus an additional 180% she can get, plus an additional 120% damage increase she can get. When the hero uses Flash Cut, 1 Sword of Penetration is removed. So it is also removed after the skill, so it's not removed before it, so you don't, let's say, go from 3 stacks to 2, you can attack with 3 stacks. So it's pretty good. So 3 times pierce rate, which is, you get a 180% increase, so you're looking at close to 300% pierce rate, plus 120% damage increase, plus a 50% attack-related stat boost, plus 3 times pierce rate. So she has about 1000% pierce rate when she ults, and that doesn't include the 210% attack boost she also gets as well. So she is definitely the character, if you want to sort of, there's also a really cool mist effect. If you are looking for a character that is pretty decent in terms of this collab, who is the best? She's the best in terms of free-to-play. She's decent with about 1 copy if you really want to go for a second one. Shadow's the worst. You sort of want as many dupes of him as possible. And then Beta's not too bad. You can get away with having low dupes, but you kind of also want high dupes as well. Gear-wise, once again, I saw 9 million with HP defense. I've currently only got HP defense, and in my opinion, she's the only one in the collab that you could argue could also have attack crit, and I may in the future make her attack crit. But at the moment, HP defense is completely fine. She gives herself an absurd amount of attack with her ultimate. She's got insane pierce rate boost, so she's still going to be doing lots of damage. She gives herself a 210% attack boost if you are max stacked, and she is, in my opinion, the most probably reliable character on this collaboration banner. And I feel like if fairies do become meta, she definitely will be on that team. Whether, you know, in JP Anniversary we get like Elaine and Barn, or we get King and Deanne duo characters, because my guess is that we'll get duo characters. Because normally, whatever we get New Year, we then get another version of that in JP Anniversary, because it's sort of mid of the year, it's the end of May sort of time. So I do expect to see probably a duo character, possibly a fairy and a giant, or a fairy and a human, to sort of boost these collaboration characters. I do feel like they are now trying to broaden the horizons of these collaboration characters. For example, Freerun, if they were to add Freerun collab, we would probably end up seeing Freerun being a fairy, because Freerun's an elf, right? And guess who else is an elf? Both the collaboration characters, and they both got fairy. Outfits-wise, I've maxed them all out, because she's actually really good for the new Chaos Demon thing in Fight. And her Relic is upgraded to Deer as well. Her Relic also looks really cool. I don't run it because I like to run the Samurai Sword with the set, because it just really suits it very well. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Actually, we didn't cover the Relic. I'm an idiot. The Relic. When the hero uses a single target attack to defeat an enemy, all debuffs are removed from applicable allies, and they heal 50% of their max HP at limit twice. So, that's pretty broken. And that's why I feel like she is very good, because killing an enemy, let's just say you're going from one phase to another of any sort of content that has 2 phases, it will count as you killing it, and you get the 50% heal on all your applicable allies. The removal of all debuffs as well can actually be really handy. Of course, currently we don't have anyone who can spam debuffs. That's really not like Shadow or like Transcendent Barn. You're not really going to see Transcendent Barn in meta anywhere. So the cleansing of all debuffs is still pretty good. You've got Infect, I guess, from Merlin on the Unknown team, but that's really it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.